So I'm actually writing a book called My Crowning Glory. So it should be done in the next couple of weeks. So if you are up for being in the early group of 15 who will review the book and give me feedback, then just send me a chat message and I'll make sure that I send it to you. And it includes my journey with the virus. So it has got some deeper understanding that was communicated to me by this phenomenal being. And it also has, what I used for myself, the immune boosters that I used for myself, so that people can do it and utilize it. It's all full spectrum, so physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and environmental practices. So let me know if you want to be in that early group that gives me feedback. I'll be sending you a copy of it in about 3 weeks, and then my request would be for you to give me feedback, answering 7 or 8 questions in about a couple of weeks after that, and then we can publish it. So welcome. Welcome, everyone. I'm actually going to now just go into muting everyone. And I think maybe we should have one of these sessions where we can just chat to each other. So I'll organize that as well. So here I am. Okay. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for the feedback. Those of you who've been sharing what has been occurring for you as you've been working through these sessions of up-leveling the human form. The gut is an organ. We're focusing on the gut right now. And Mary Malloy, I know I learned my first learning of the gut as a physiological organ actually came from you. I had no idea. Mary Malloy, who's here from Ireland, she is the leader of and creator of biodynamic medicine that works with the gut. And it's based on the premise, this is my understanding, that the gut is the one that digests emotional distress. And so she would, the first time she worked with me was where she attached a voice stethoscope to the gut and used that. Mary, I know I'm really crunching it down, but in the interest of time, I'm just giving a very high-level summary. And literally, the stethoscope, so you can hear the sound being made by your gut as she's working her way through, checking it. And it's gurgling, 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 and then it stops and it goes tuck, tuck, tuck. It's like, okay, there is no movement there. And then she would work. Sometimes it is conversation, sometimes it is Reiki, sometimes it's a particular body work. And that the moment the emotion is digested, the gurgling returns, and you actually hear it physiologically shift in your gut. It was a very powerful experience for me. My partner, who had a stroke, and he lost his writing ability completely. And okay, we were working with everything else, but no writing ability meant he couldn't sign his name. And that was like so important for me to take on his affairs and do something with it. And we didn't even know whether he understood what we were saying to him. I could feel he did, he just wasn't able to communicate. And I reached out to Mary, and Mary had come over. And do you recall, Mary, that day when you did the work? I think it was about 3 or 4 hours or something with Phil.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, we had a flip chart, and we said, Phil, write your name. And he just looked. And he was Phil was a captain of industry. So for him to not be able to do this, feeling embarrassed in front of others, was just not his thing. So he was like, did not even want to attempt it initially. And Mary very lovingly invited him to just go, just hold the pen and see what comes out. And he actually wrote his name. And he was able to sign from that point on. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and here we are working on the.
I don't know if you can hear me, but Mynoo, it was an honor. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can hear. It was an honor, and also your support for me at that time when it was new. The gut is a second brain,
Yeah.
and now we're talking about the third brain, because you're talking about the head and heart and gut, and
Yeah.
also that the gut digests and integrates and transforms into energy, transforms emotional and psychological. Well, the gut dissolves nervousness and tension and resolves emotional conflict on the unconscious organic level,
Yeah.
that we can become who we are and who we're destined to be.
Yes.
And let the heart be just peaceful and let the mind get on with things. So it's wonderful to hear you, and
Thank you.
thank you, and also Phil that he's still well. And thanks, Mynoo, and lovely to see everybody.
Same here. I'm going to mute you now, Mary. That's
Thank
okay.
you.
And here we are. What we are doing right now is working with the gut, up-leveling the gut as a physical organ. You getting the vibration of different sections of the gut. We are literally going section by section. We've done a whole gut thing before, and now we are going section by section. So we did that particular section where the small intestine joins the large intestine. We did the section last week which connects, which is linked to the right kidneys. We are now going up. We are still on the ascended colon here. And we are going towards the mid section of the ascended colon, and that section actually connects to the lungs. And, you know, all the bronchial tracts, all the different pieces that come together to make the lungs. And, you know, the lung sac, the rib cage, all of that. So we're working towards that. Now, the right side is what we are working towards. So it has the impact on the right lung. I thought they were actually connected to the opposite side, but actually when I tuned in, they're connected to the same side. So the right side of the ascended colon is connected to the right lung. Now, lung as an organ is the organ that is impacted when we are not expressing our truth. So when we shut ourselves off for whatever reason, it could be because of some external situation, or it could be because we feel it's not appropriate, whatever it may be. When we shut ourselves out is where the lung weakens. And when the lung weakens, it actually, the little lobes that make up the lung sac, they start to shrivel and they start to come together. It begins from the top of the lung, and you first notice it through a shortness of breath. That's how it starts to show up to begin with. Now, the gut as an organ, yes, it is an organ, an important digestive organ. And it is an organ that does 2 of the 3 functions of digestion. Digestion is a 3-part process. You ingest, you absorb, and you excrete. So gut is an organ of absorption and excretion, both of those things. And the absorption of nutrients that serve the lungs happens in that particular section of the colon. That section is often very impacted. That section is often, has lots of ingrowths and I don't know what the medical terminology of all of that is. And I just want to, again, just say that I'm not a medical practitioner. I just share what I tune in and what I use for myself. And that's what we are doing here. It's energetic, it's vibrational. And it all comes from a premise that everything is a vibration. Every cell is vibrating. Otherwise, we would not be sitting here still. And different parts of our body have got a vibrational frequency that is different. And depending on what that organ is about, when it is when it remembers its originating intent and it's vibrating at that level, then everything is fine. There's integrity in that organ. When the vibration is impacted, and that can happen through emotions are the ones that directly impact the vibrational quality of our physical cells, and then the organ starts to disconnect from remembering what its originating intent is, and that creates a weakness, and that then creates further exasperation in terms of disease. Now, the gut itself is one of the three brains that we have. It is connected to every organ in the body, just like the brain in our head is. And its role is to be a steward, a custodian of the wisdom that has been amassed and collected through all our various soul journeys. So as the gut, I mean, it's such perfection with which we have been created by our Creator. So whatever wisdom we require to release our lung capacity so they operate at the full level, and we are able to build that courage and confidence and centeredness to express our truth and express our true calling, that is also enabled by that particular section of the gut. So in addition to the physiological nutrition that is supplied to the lungs, it also enables us by reconnecting us to the wisdom that has been amassed by various journeys of our soul, that is going to support us to be able to operate from our truth. And that's the power of the gut. It was a power of that particular section of the gut that connects to the lungs. So today our focus is to, first of all, we're going to clear it. And we still have those light frequencies that have been lodged in different sections of the gut. There were actually two little boxes of monochromatic light that were there in that particular section. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And there are several of you who've joined who I know were not there in the previous sessions. If you haven't done the previous sessions, then just go ahead, we'll put up the link to this particular series of Upleveling the Human Form, and you can go ahead and work with that. The work that we are doing here with the gut can be done again and again and again. As Ken shared in his message today, that it just allows you to go deeper and deeper and deeper. The gut is an organ that is it also houses parasites, so it has external entities that are often there, and it also is the one that just takes in whatever needs to be excreted out from your body. So it's great to just do a regular colon cleanse for yourself, and you can literally do this series. You can have a 7-day program to clean up your gut at an emotional and a spiritual and a vibrational level ongoingly. So as always, we're going to first focus our attention on clearing, and then we're going to take that cleared section of the gut and up-level its vibrational frequency by going into the human vibe attunement. So get yourself comfortable. We're going to go straight in. Get yourself comfortable. And best for you to be seated upright if you can, unless you absolutely have to lie down. It would be great for you to sit up. So sit up, have the base of your spine connected to the core of the earth. And if you're sitting up and you have your feet down on the floor, have the middle of your feet connected to the core of the earth also. Drop your hands to the side, turn your palms facing forward, stretch them a little bit. Imagine that the tips of your fingers are connected to the core of the earth. The connection to the core of the earth is done with the golden cord. The golden cord this time has also got the metals of silver, copper, bronze, And it has in it the crystal of titanium. Titanium is frequency is bringing in a lightness of being, which it does with, and it also is a very powerful emanator of rainbow light. Rainbow light is a light that has, it's like a full spectrum light, allows us to plug into the full spectrumness of our being that supports the lightness of being. Take the palm of your hands and put them on your thighs now. Your palms are facing upwards. And on the left palm, you have moonstone, and on the right palm, you have blood jasper, like a wand of blood jasper. You can just look up online later on what the moonstone crystal does and what the blood jasper crystal does. When we presence these frequencies on your palms, they come with the frequency of that particular crystal. And we anchor the vibrational frequency into your physical body. And as you know, our palms are termination points for various systems that we have in our body. So when you have the frequency of a particular crystal in the center of your palm, it literally emanates its frequencies, and they enter all the different parts of your body. So your body benefits from the healing abilities of this particular crystal. All of you here have been doing this so many times that I'm already seeing the moment you plug in, your body automatically starts clearing and releasing. You start doing your concentric circles and doing the scan, and allow whatever it is that no longer serves to be released into the core of the earth. And just in your scanning, that occurs. And you can go with great speed now. You don't have to go section by section. You can literally go like a spring all the way down to your feet. You can go from your feet all the way down to your crown. Do about 3 or 4 cycles of that. And just in you creating the concentric circles and going down, the scanning is occurring, release is occurring, scanning is occurring, release is occurring, scanning is occurring, release is occurring. So in case you feel any tightness, some of you may feel a bit of tightness on the left-hand side just by your collarbone. Just breathe into it and it will release. If you feel tightness in the back of your neck, then just breathe into it and release, and it will go. So as the gut starts to get clear and rises in its attunement to match the human vibe, it plugs into a harmonious coexistence of your soul being in this human form. And that starts a cycle with your pineal gland, which is the gland that is also sometimes called the third eye. So some of you may start experiencing a bit of tingling in that region, which is just about an inch or so above the bridge of your nose. And now I want you to take your breath in. So breathe in through your nose and see and feel that breath going down the center of your spine. Even though you're going to breathe and you're going to breathe in a normal cycle, that breath is literally going down the center of your spine, and through the spine, it is actually emanating out, and you're going to take it all the way down to your tailbone. And when you breathe out, you're going to bring it up, and the breath out is going to occur through your heart. Breathing in and out is happening through your nose. Okay, you're all plugged in. We're going to go into the 9-4-6 breath, first of all. So breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you will just continue breathing in and out through your nose, going down your spine, all the way to the tailbone, and then breathing out through your heart. And I'm going to keep talking about the clearing that is occurring in your gut as you're doing this. So there's a very specific light, a light that I call as the light of the cosmos, that we had placed lining the inner lining of your colon. So I'm going towards that particular region, which we are working on right now, the region that connects to the lungs in your colon. So we've reinforced the light so it is in its full vitality. And it's a pearlesque white light that is there. And just as you connect to it, you will feel a surge of this golden light, which is a healing light that rises up from the base, from the core of the earth, up the base of your feet, all the way up to your crown. And as that golden light just rises up, it fills up every cell in your body. You imagine as if it is coming out from the top of your crown and then surrounding you in the form of a torus or like a donut. And then you see that surge of that golden light coming up again. And it's an energetic frequency that gets generated with a torus-like movement. So it's just going up, 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 up to your crown, rising up, all the way down on either side in the form of a big donut, and there's another rise of that golden light that is occurring. You experience it. You may feel a little shortness of breath because it is a very powerful movement. And so it is. Just allow yourself to be in your center, receiving it. This golden light has really got all of your cells experiencing that healing golden light within them. Now what happens is when an organ is bunged up or inflamed or hurt in any way, it's really important to allow that organ to recalibrate itself. So for that, rather than put our focus and put pressure on the organ that we are working on, I'm actually introducing a very fine rhythmic movement called the matrix rhythm that I'm introducing on either side of that section of the gut. You may feel it And you may not, but I'm really introducing that movement in the water that is on either side of that section of the gut. So it's as if that water very gently but very definitely is creating that movement. So here's what happens. When you've heard of deer in headlights. So, a car comes in, a deer is there, you crash, you stop, the deer is just staring at you, can't move, doesn't move, and then it starts shaking profusely. And that shaking profusely then allows that exhale to come in, and the deer then runs away, out of the way. And that's exactly what happens when an organ is distressed in any form. There is so much load on it that rather than loading it further by working on it, we work with either side of it. And in doing what I'm doing right now, I've introduced in your body a memory of this matrix rhythm that you can tap into anytime. Those of you who know how to work and heal yourself, you can literally use that matrix rhythm in your own way. And others who don't know, don't attempt it for now. Just keep repeating these sessions that I'm doing. Okay, that matrix rhythm is created. What that also does is it literally allows any toxicity that is released when you're healing that particular organ for it to be actually excreted out and for nutrients to be absorbed. When you have tightness that is there, then it literally also closes off those nodes that link to the lymphatic system and other clearing systems that we have in our body, which are very, very fine channels that are used. So this matrix rhythm allows that clearing to take place. Okay, now we can go and focus our attention very specifically in that section. And I'm guided to bring in quite a strong fluorescent violet light. The lungs and the ribs and everything that makes up that whole region is a collection of some very intricate systems. So the violet light is a light that is infused by the master of systems and structures, that is Saint Germain. And all we're doing here is literally bringing the remembrance back to each and every part that makes up that whole region of your lungs. It's a very important player when it comes to breath and processing the breath, enabling your body to receive the oxygen and releasing from your body carbon dioxide that then gets absorbed by the plants. And as long as the plants are able to absorb it, they release the carbon dioxide into the roots. And those roots go deep into the soil, making it even stronger, bringing about a very beautiful creation of topsoil and increasing the integrity of the soil. It doesn't matter whether you have trees or not. There are trees in the world. You are all now holographic presences of your vibrations. So as we are doing this work, working on the lungs, we are actually impacting the plants, the roots, the topsoil system, as much as we are impacting our own ability to be anchored and grounded so that we can expand in an infinite way. Okay, the violet light has activated certain red light cells and certain spotlights which are amber in color. And the amber light is a very nourishing light for the lungs, as the lungs start to remember your true self, your true calling, and they start to honor that. The red light creates an acceleration of movement as the walls of that part of the colon start to break down, disintegrate any impacted fecal matter in that particular section. For a couple of you, that section is very loaded. So it's literally as if we are creating boreholes like you do when you go to find water through that bunged up blockage that is there. And over the next 21 days, that will start disintegrating. There's a lot of work that is being done to clear that section. And also the walls of that particular part of the colon are very tender and quite inflamed for many of us. The peristalsis can be either lethargic or overactive. So we're bringing all that remembrance back on how that part of the colon is meant to work and operate. And when that section starts to ease off, the palpitations, the fastness of breath, or choking feeling, all of that starts to release and relax. That section is now prepared, and just be easy with it. It'll take the next 21 days or so for that section to be fully prepared, fully healed. But we are well on track. The bandwagon of the healing of that section is rolling now. You can take your right hand and just put it there in that section, and take your left hand and just put it over your navel. And we're going to go into the human vibe attunement now. So what we're doing here is acknowledging ourselves as a human. And this is your human form in complete harmony with your soul presence that is doing this. You're acknowledging yourself as a human. You're receiving yourself as a human. And you are accepting yourself as a human. The soul is speaking it, and the human form is speaking it. The human form is in speaking it aloud, it is tapping at the perfect acupressure points that release this frequency of the human vibe, which is a frequency of love, and a recognition that this frequency of love is amplifying the presence of your soul, which is limitless, which is indestructible, and which is omnipresent and eternal. So repeat after me. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. It's 2 more times. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. We're going to anchor this and get into a whole brain state with that cellular memory now implanted in that region of the colon that connects to the lungs, enables you to express your truth. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your hands in front of your heart, rub them against each other. Put them over your eyes. Open your eyes and then take them on top of your head, the back of your head, down your neck, down your shoulders, and do an energy sweep. So the human vibe attunement itself is complete. And I always love to hear your one words to complete the session for you. So please share those. And we anchor those, through our holographic presences. Limitless, vibrant glow. Thank you, Hasmita. Flowing, calmness, peace, serene, releasing, expansive. Thank you for the healing energy. Angels. Yes. It really is the land of angels. our colon. Anchored deep in peace, anchored, absolutely peaceful and inspiring, centered, lightness, magnificence, and oneness. Indeed, harmony. So happy now I'll be able to express fully, Asha, yes. Anchored in true sense, serenity, thank you. Purifying and gratitude, vast and profound awakening, spaciousness, peace and clarity, releasing, thank you for this lightness. It is quite amazing. I'm happy to review the book you referred to. Thank you, Danette. I will reach out to you, Lightness and Serenity. Thank you all. It's always difficult to end these sessions. I'm really glad that you're all here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Deep appreciation, deep appreciation. Thank you. And Suzanne will be sharing the YouTube recording of this. So if you want to repeat it, you can go ahead and do that. Thank you. See you all on Thursday. Thank you. I'm going to complete the meeting now.